it's catastrophic for our community. The idea that 1,200 union employees that work so hard each and every day would lose their jobs overnight is absolutely unacceptable, and hundreds of jobs more in management. As far as I'm concerned, that facility has demonstrated what it means to the hardworking Western New Yorkers that go to work every single day to live the American dream. And this company that's making a decision on a chalkboard in Japan that's going to have such a catastrophic economic impact on our community ought to be ashamed of itself for doing that to our community. So we've been in touch with our government partners. We've been in touch with the leadership of the workforce there, and we're reaching out to the leadership of the corporation, hoping in a last-ditch effort that they'll rescind that decision that would have such a negative impact on our community. We've invested millions of dollars into that facility as a state. Our local region has invested millions of dollars in incentives. The plant itself is functioning in a great way because of the workforce. The more than 1,000 employees that call Western New York home that are making that facility profitable, you know, they've been a shining example of what's right about the working class people that go to work every day to fight for their families and live the American dream. And now for this company in Japan to pull the rug out from underneath our community, it's devastating. And, you know, it's shameful in every way. So we're going to stand up and do what we can. We're hopeful for a last-minute Hail Mary effort to save this facility from those that made a very simple-minded, wrong-headed, erroneous decision in Japan. Again, the idea that this plant management based in Japan would send over 1,000 workers home, 1,200 workers home, with a promise of coming back to work, and then overnight snap their fingers on a chalkboard or on a piece of paper like we're some sort of statistic here in Western New York and say, forget it, you're not coming back to work? That's horrific. That's shameful. And that's wrong. And we're not going to stand for it. We're going to do everything we can to salvage this wrong-headed decision from the folks that made the decision over in Japan. But, you know, the framework of it isn't on our side. You know, we're up against it, and it's certainly a tall hill to climb, but we're going to do our part. We're going to try. But again, this is a global economy, and when people make decisions and don't think about the families, the hardworking families in our community that are fighting for themselves and their kids and the next generation, and are making this plant a shining example of what's right in our country by saving it from the chopping block when it was done tire before, and now they've invested their time and their energy and resources and millions of dollars in incentives and have made it a profitable facility. And this company management in Japan just snapping its fingers and doing wrong by our community. It's just absolutely shameful. My hope is that we can salvage this from the decision that has been made. If not, we got to look out for the workers. We got to look out for their families. We got to help them in this moment. Certainly we have to do whatever we can to keep that facility online. But there's ways to do this sort of maneuver from a business perspective that doesn't shutter the facility and close the doors overnight. And they didn't do that. So shame on the management in Japan for doing that to our community, because it's wrong. And the way you do this is by working to find a viable suitor to either buy the business or to work to keep it online with the community leadership. But to overnight to do that to our community, it's catastrophic and it's shameful.